Here.
Mrs. Wooleen?
Here.
Mr. Yingling?
Here. Okay, I'm going to read the mission statement. I'm going to read the mission statement. We, the Franklin Regional School community, strive for excellence, learning, achievement, and citizenship in all we do. There were no executive sessions for tonight's meeting, either one of them. Public comments, we already went over in the committee of the whole meeting. Solicitor comments, Mr. Matta.
I have no comments at this time, Mr. President.
All right, agenda item, proposed final general fund budget for 2020-21, which we already went through, pages 105 to 135. 1 second. Okay, I just need a motion to move the budget.
Herb, this is Debbie. I motion that we accept the proposed final general fund budget for the 2020-2021 school year.
Second. Nevin.
Point of order.
Point of order.
Is it appropriate this time, Mr. President, to make a motion?
You can make a motion.
That's not a point of order.
No. Mary, see, you can make a motion now?
I would like to make a motion, as I previously cited before, the introduction of State House legislation HB 1776 and 2431, the property school tax freeze plan. It's time for Plan B to represent belt tightening and not have a plan that will conflict with this legislation. And based on the aforementioned in the Cal meeting, I make a motion to table this agenda item and ask a second for my motion.
Does he have a second to his motion? Hearing none, your motion failed. Okay, we have a motion and a second to move the budget, to pass the proposed budget. All in favor?
Roll call vote, please.
Roll call.
Roll call vote. Ms. Wolf?
Mr. Nevin?
Yes.
Mr. Nevin?
Yes.
Mr. Kozlowski?
Yes.
Mr. Moderator?
I was on mute. I do apologize. I think that in light of a lot of what was being said, I think we need to be cautious with moving forward with approving this. I do believe that maybe another hard pass through and look into some of these numbers, because the distance is quite far apart. And I think that what Director English made a comment on, there's a question mark. And I think that's a question mark that we need to really readily look at, that if they do, and again, it's a big if, because we've seen how Harrisburg has been dragging their feet with everything, but it would make what we're doing here a very moot point if they decide to say across the board that nobody's allowed to do anything. So, you know, I just have a hard time in my heart with everything that's been going on, looking at running the numbers up. I guess the bigger question would be, how much money do we have in our reserve tank that if we have to continue to do this and go in and borrow money, and I understand we're moving it, and a lot of this has been pre-planned, and it's expenses that have been pretty much, you know, thought out, but how long can we continue to sustain borrowing from A to B, and when does A run out of money?
So you're voting no?
So if it's a vote, if you're just asking for a yes or no, based on what I said, mine would be no.
Okay. Next.
Mr. Steiner?
Yes.
Mr. Yant?
No.
Mr. English?
No.
Mr. Weinman?
Yes.
Mrs. Wooleen?
Yes.
Mr. Yingling?
Yes. 6-3.
6-3.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved,
Motion
Billy.
to adjourn.
Second, Scheider.
Everybody have a great 2 weeks. See you in 2 weeks.
Good night. Good night, all.
Right.
Guys,
Thank you, Mr. President.
Donna, thank you.